Hey everybody, coming at you from the great outdoors. Today I have something I've been working on a very long time. It is a homemade bivy sack. It's got a frame, so it may be considered a bivy tent. It's kind of a prototype hybrid deal, and you can just use it like it is, or you can use it for stealth, because I've got some camo mesh I'm going to add to it. Now, the inspiration for this thing came from a forum online years and years ago. Now, instead of me just boring you for 5 minutes with it and losing all my viewers, I'll tell you about it later as we're setting this up, and I'm going to show you all the features of it. But it is homemade. It's like a prototype. It's one of a kind. It's very heavy duty materials, and it may or may not work. I don't know. So y'all watch, and we're going to try to put it together and see how it works. All right, so let's go find a spot and get to working on it. All right, this is perfect. I think this is exactly what I was looking for the whole idea behind the stealth camo hidden bivy. So this is going to make a lot more sense here after I've got it out and got it set up. All right, so let's get all the components out, lay them on the ground, start setting them up, and then we're going to use this tree and it's going to make sense. All right, jack it off. I'm gonna pull all these components out. Now this is the actual bivy sack. All right, okay, that's one of the components. Let's see. This is the pad, which is also known as a drag pad or a drag bag, and that's because once you assemble it, you drag it inside the tree for stealth. Isn't that cool? Now this is the camouflage I've chosen. This is some new camouflage. This is a heavy black Cordura material. Now, black Cordura material is the cheapest Cordura that there is. If you bought this in camo, it will cost 4 times as much, and then you're stuck with whatever camo you have. So with this case, what I do is I'll bring 2 different camo mesh, and you can use whichever camo matches the environment the best. And also, if it wears out, you can change it. And it's mesh, you can see through it. And then the other component is right here. Those of you that have watched my other videos, an exercise ball. So we're going to pump up that exercise ball. And then inside here, I have some fiberglass tent poles that I have modified. So pretty much right there, what you're looking at, we can take away one of these camos. Pretty much what you're looking at right there is going to be the stealth bivy, and I think you're going to be really impressed with it. So the first thing we're going to do is take this pad and lay it out. All right, this pad right here is double layer with a piece of thin foam inside it. Now each end has loops on it. That way you can drag it up inside the tree for stealth. You don't have to crawl up inside the tree to build this bivy. You build the bivy sack outside it and then run rope through and then drag it through. All right, so this will be the beginning of it right here. Now the beauty of this thing is if you ever wear this pad out, you can just easily make another one. You won't be wearing out the bottom of the bivy sack. Before I lay this bivy sack out, I'm going to give you kind of a close-up view of the inside. I hope you can see it good. But see how the inside is like a coated, real heavy, coated plastic, and then the outside is like a Cordura. So let's find the end. Let's see. I should have weighed this thing, but I didn't. I may weigh it when I get home. All right, so you're going to want to lay it down right here like this. You're going to lay it down like this. Just like a... All right, let's see now. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to build our fiberglass frame, put it together. So here's our poles. A long time ago, my buddy, who was also on YouTube, Oregon Mike, he sent me a box full of poles that he had gathered up over the years. He said, surely you can use these one day. Well, Mike, today's the day. Thank you, buddy. So what I've got here is I got a variety of poles, and I've made all these little connectors out of plastic. I made them like on a milling machine. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble these things over here on the ground, and after it's assembled, I'll show you what they look like and what they do. So here's the frame built. And what you do with this thing now is you set it inside, and you have to kind of work this stuff around a little bit. And I've got some Velcro right here. And what I do is I pull this up, and it wraps around like this. Alright, so we wrap that around. And that is what holds it to the frame. And then there's one right here on the side. Let me move this. There's more to the frame. I'll show it to you in a minute. See, there's more Velcro right here. And this Velcro wraps right around here. I can't cover up that bottom hole because that bottom hole gets a piece too. Alright, there's another support that goes out that way. Alright, so that's the inside of this thing that's set up and strapped on, just like this. Alright, and then here, this will be the cover. Now, there's some more pieces I want to show you. There's two more pieces right in here, and what they do is you got to find this little hole here, right there. Now, I'm going to put this together outside, as in, look, I pull the little cap off, and then I slide this thing through, just like that, all the way up, and then I put the cap back on. And what this is this is a leg that goes inside here, and I'm going to show you how I take care of that. So the way this does is this stuff breaks down like this because it's a corded pole. And you lift this up and drop it inside. Break this down. We're going to drop this inside. And then what you do is you just put it all back together. And then you slide it forward. And that's going to support the end. And now look, I got another thing right here. Just like that. That right there slides on. And it holds that end up. Alright, so that's going to be that's the sealed in end right there where the feet are. We'll do the same thing here. This thing slides right here. So you lift it up, and you push it out as far as it'll go. You want that all the way at the end of your sack. As far out as it'll go. Then you connect it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, see, this pushes all the way up. See, I wouldn't want to do this underneath that tree. Push that all the way out. Yeah, now you're getting somewhere. See, that thing is opening up the foot area. There you go. That's how it's done. Got the frame done with this big opening. You can either get in here or you can get in there. Now this thing, for the straight up sleeping version, you're going to crawl in. Now these sides here are looped. That way they can either just hang over the side, or you can put a couple of logs in there to help hold that down. Alright. And this thing covers all the way past here, like that. And so you can get in there and fold that over. Get my shoes off. And then once inside, you're gonna have your, once inside, oh me, let's see. Once inside here, you can either have blankets or your sleeping bag. What I'm gonna use is blankets because I think it's gonna be a whole lot easier. Now there's a zipper where you can unzip it, and I'm going to show you that feature in a minute. That was the original idea for this thing, to sleep inside. But now, as far as viewing wildlife or predators or Bigfoot, yes, I said the B word. The other thing, there was mesh under here to see through, and I haven't decided if I want mesh that'll Velcro in or no mesh at all. All right. So the other thing with this, and there's a lot of other things on here that are going to be for features later on. You unzip it and it opens up. All right. So what we're going to do is, I've got this thing here that I made, and it's another little pole. It's like a ridge. So what we're going to do with this is, if I remember right, I think it goes in here and here. All right, that's good. And what we're going to do now is we're going to remove this middle pole, because the middle pole is kind of like for assembly. We don't really need it. All right. Now, since this is at an angle, this is kind of wobbly, so what we do here is I put a couple of these things on. That kind of holds it into place. These are just, hey, wait a minute, where's the other one? Oh, there it is. These are just little teeny tiny bungee cords that I made. And they'll hold this in place to kind of keep it from, you know, moving around. Let's see. Actually, that needs to go around twice so it won't slip off. Now we're talking. Now this goes over here like this. And so you've got an opening where you can view wildlife or Bigfoot or whoever you're hiding from. And then when you go to sleep at night, you just zip it up. And we're going to outfit this bad boy before we drag it up in there. People that know me and have seen my channel have seen this camo mesh. And this stuff, ever since I found this, discovered this stuff, I absolutely have fallen in love with it. And what it is mesh, okay? You can see through it, but it's camo, and which is great, because in the wintertime, like I said, if you've got a device like this that's black or maybe even some bright color, you can camo it to match the environment. Now in the wintertime, you throw this on, and I think it's great because you can see through it. I'm gonna hold this up to the camera. So there's one camo, right? Now I want to show you something. You can see through this stuff. Let's hold it up to the camera. All right, can you see through that? It's about a foot away. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to lay this in front of the tree. We're going to lay both types of camo to see which one we feel like matches the environment better. We don't necessarily have to look at the ground, but we have to look at the tree. Now the other thing about this, I've got some green. I've got multicam that's got a lot of green in it, and that would be good for summertime. It's not good for the wintertime, but this stuff's great because of the fact it's breathable. You can use it in the summer. Now this is the new camo that I ordered in December, and I have absolutely fell in love with it because it's like a waterfowl, I guess. But there's a lot of brown in there and light colors, a lot of winter type colors. So those ain't real heavy. You just have to kind of look at them and decide which one you want to use. This is one of those cases where I honestly don't know. Really, either one could work. I don't know. It's almost like the one on the right matches the ground better, but the one on the left kind of matches the tree a little better in the background, depending on which way you look. Okay, now, looking through the viewfinder, I don't know how this looks to y'all at home, but me looking through the viewfinder, not looking in person, the one on the right actually sort of blends in better. So, let's try that one. All right, so let's outfit the inside of this before we drag it on up in there. Now, I don't know. This is all brand new. I've never used it, so I don't know if blankets are going to work better or if a sleeping bag is going to work better. Okay, the rope, I'm going to have to use that for dragging up inside. So the poncho, got this. I got a little kit that I'm going to keep inside there right beside me. It's got like a fire kit, a little mini survival kit, cup and canteen. I got 2 flashlights and a pair of binoculars. That'll go inside. And now I've got 2 blankets. So what you do, the idea is you put this in there and you drag it up in there and you leave it for about a month and you just let it become a part of the environment. If there's any animals, you know, I don't know, maybe even Bigfoot, I don't know. But if there's any animals, it's not like this will be a new thing after a month. It'll be something that they won't hear any sights or sounds around it. They'll hear no activity. It'll just be something stuck inside a tree. And they'll just be used to it. And then one day you'll sneak in with a small kit and climb in and hang out for a few hours. That's the idea behind it. Now, this thing, let's see. We're going to put, let's see. Let's go ahead and pull this out. Let's just throw this blanket here to the side. Now, you have, well, we'll just put it at the bottom and I'll just drag it up on me. Now, you have the pad underneath it with the thin foam inside it, that thin pink foam that goes under wood flooring. And then you've got the thickness, you got the double thickness of the tarp, and then you've got the bivy sack. So I don't think I'll need a regular pad, but with a blanket or 2 blankets, you know, so I'll crawl in and you can either put them under you or over you, either one. Now, the other thing, I'll carry this with me. I ain't gonna put it in yet. The other thing is a half blown up exercise ball. Now, like I said, people that have seen my channel, they understand this. They have seen this. They know what it is. What it is it's like a backrest. Let's see which one of these goes in. There we go. I'll pump it up about halfway. Alright, so this thing is about half blown up. So what you want to do is test it out, make sure before you go put it in there. See how this grabs? That's why you got to put the bungee cords on. Alright, so this thing here goes in the back. And that is like your backrest. So, I'm going to give you a good view of it here. Because I probably can't when I'm inside here. Let's go in here, lay down. Got a blanket. Now, it's going to be harder to get in here when the camo's on. But, I mean, it's kind of lightweight. You'll just have to crawl in from the side. I see that's kind of better than ducking under that bar. Alright, so I'm gonna be laying right in here. Oh yeah, yeah, that ball. Okay, I got that ball pumped up. I got my blanket here. And then there's another blanket down there, in case I want to. I really do think, and then I've got 2 more snug packed jungle blankets that I can bring. I can have 4 blankets in here. And I really do think that in such a confined space, I think this will be better than using a sleeping bag. So let's pull this over. Let's see. All right, so this is my view. This is what I can see. This is the opening. See, there's the zipper right there. All right, so that I can close it up later. Now, I may have to do something to hold that flap up. But now, when the camo mesh is over it, you'll see the camo mesh. Now, I'm sitting in here hidden, and see, the sides are not sewn. So look, I can... Oh, I got to show you that on the back. I can open up the sides, and I can look out the sides and see, and just lay them back over. See how that side is? I can just prop it open if it ain't raining, and I can just look right out the side. But this is going to be my view. I'll put the camo mesh over it, then show you that view here in a minute. All right, so that's what it looks like with the camo mesh over it. I got to show you something real quick on the back here while I'm thinking about it. On this back, you leave these things unhooked, and it can be like a drip ring for rain, or you can connect them. See, with that elastic, and it holds those ends on. Now you can definitely see a color with it right here on the trail because the leaves are so orange. But there's a lot of brown up inside there. So we're going to try that and see how it looks. Now let's see if we can climb in. Alright, this is a part that I was wondering about. I'm in my socks, and we're going to see. Take my hat off. What we're going to do is we're going to lift this up. Alright. Now, I've got enough inside here. Look, I'm holding it up with my hand. And see, I'm completely covered with this. I mean, this is such a large piece of mesh that I'm inside it. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up now. I'm going to try to get in here. I'm standing up inside here, and I've got this part over me. Alright, I got all this giant mesh around me. And so, there we go. Let's pull this down. And then sit back. Just like this. Like I said, this will be a lot easier without a camera. Or would help to have a little bit of light in here. Alright. Now, this is what I see. Now that mesh ain't ideal, but I can see through it. Alright. And it may come down to into the future. I don't know, I can see pretty good. I may have to put a zipper in it, but I don't know how it would stay lined up. Or maybe I could use both meshes. Have one mesh down low and one mesh up high. Have them overlapping. But see, when you lift up the sides now, you'll see through the mesh. Same thing over here. You lift up to the sides, look outside. Oh man, you can feel that cold air come in too. This thing really Traps body warmth. I don't even have a blanket on and I'm warm. Look, can you see me here? I don't know if you can or not. That is my view. Alright, so I'm going to lift up a couple of branches now. And let's lift up a couple of branches. And I'm going to see. I'm going to lift up a couple of branches now, and I'm going to see if we can drag this bag up inside that tree and what it looks like. So I've got it staged to drag through. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to crawl through or take a stick, and I'm going to shove the rope all the way through so that I can pull it from the other side. Now, this is kind of a dilemma I was thinking about. Those branches that are low, if you cut them out of the way, you're ruining part of your stealth camo, you know, method here, or the whole idea behind it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a stick and I'm going to try to cram it up under it and lift them up, drag the bivy in, and then pull the stick out so that it's surrounding it. That's a lot easier than building the whole thing inside there. So at this point, the only thing I have to do is crawl under there and lay the camo mesh on, because I think if I put the camo mesh on and drug it in there, it'd probably just drag right off. See, that lifted it up a little bit. Let's take this stick here. We're going to tie this rope off on the end of it. Then we're going to shove it through, because this side is inaccessible. Alright, let's see. So we want to drag it. We got the rope tied to it now. You see what I'm doing? Alright, we're going to shove this rope right inside there. There we go. And so now we'll go around to the other side and crawl under, drag it through, tie it to the bivy. While I'm in here, here's a branch I gotta move. Just put that right there. Put that there. Move them around. Alright, I got most of the branches out. So, I got my rope. Move the stick over here. There's actually a big hole over in here I could pull it into, but I think I'd rather pull it straight in here. Let's see, let's tie it off here now. Actually, I really should tie it off with a, well, nah, let's just tie it off. I was going to tie it off with a stick between these two loops, but let's just do it this way. Alright, now, we just got to pull it through. Now that is why it's called a drag bag, or a drag pad. Drag bag, drag pad. I'll explain more in a minute.
Now that we got the bag up inside there, let's plop this back down. That's what we want. Matter of fact, we'll even put that right there. Be nice if there was more there. We're gonna put the camo on it next. Actually, what I may do, yeah, I'm gonna move the camera. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna crawl inside all this stuff and try to put the camo on it. And I don't know if I should put both kinds of camos or what. See, I'd hate to have to build this thing inside here. Alright, let's fold this over. Now that I've got room, I can put this thing back in. Like that. See how it looks. Would you ever think to look twice at a down tree like that? Now I guarantee you from that other view it's impossible to see. From this side, you really have to be looking for it. Now let's see if we can get in it. All right, here's a big test. Can I get in it?
Let's see. Let's see.
This thing's in the way.
It's a little bit too stealthy.
Take our boots and hide it around back. Let's see. Let's pull them inside. I got room. So there it is with two different kind of camos. I put the mossy oak on the front, and then I put the waterfowl on the back. I don't know. Maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it kind of breaks it up. I don't know. Instead of having one giant different color, now it has two different colors that aren't as large. And see, the other thing about that is I can reach out there where my little zipper opening, and I can lift it up and look out. So we'll see what it looks like on the inside, and then we'll have to close this video out. Before we crawl in for the last time, I'm going to show you something here real quick. And instead of putting my binoculars in a regular case, what I did is I wrapped them in a rag, because that way a case is just a case, but this rag can be used to keep the lenses clean, or it can clean the lenses, or you can use it as a whatever, a tourniquet, a do-rag, wrap it around your neck, and I've got it clipped on so that I don't lose it. So we're going to bring it and a flashlight in there. Maybe we can look around while I'm telling you a little bit more about the backstory of this thing. The drag bag or drag pad. Alright, so I'm in here now. Pull a blanket up. Alright, I got my blanket here. Now you gotta lay off the coffee before you get in here. Then I got my binoculars right here. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this camo up to right here to where it's laying in our lap. Alright, now I've got this bar up here. Okay, so we're gonna pull this over. Wait a minute, where's my flashlight? Okay, I'm gonna put my flashlight right here in my lap too. That's I need it. And then let's pull this overhead so you can get an idea. Take my hat off. See if I can pull this overhead. It's gonna take a little bit of doing. Alright, so I'm gonna pull this down. Now this camo has to be over. Alright, pull the lid on. Now like I said, this is a prototype. Yeah, see that camo. Alright, now let's take a look here. I have to pull this camo. That's why you need, I guess that's why you need two pieces. Alright, there we go. I got the camo pulled up. Alright, so this is my view. Alright, now the whole idea behind this thing was I had heard on a Bigfoot forum a long time ago that what they were saying is they said that what you could do is you could, if you bring something new into the environment, they won't like it. They'll notice it. But if you bring something stealthy and hide it inside something that's undisturbed and that's natural, okay, you can even pull the mesh over into here to hide the zipper. So anyway, that you have an undisturbed environment and you leave it for about a month, and then you come back, and then maybe you just quietly sneak in stealthy and don't make a bunch of noise and you get in it. Alright, so let's look inside here for a minute. Let's move that down. Wait a minute. Look. And then you'll just take your binoculars. And you just take your binoculars and you'll just look out amongst the landscape here. Oh yeah, I can see a long ways off. That is so cool. Where'd my flashlight go? Here it is. See down inside there? Lift that up my leg. See all the room down in there? I got my blanket here, and there's another blanket at the other end. I don't know if you can see this or not. Here's the back of it back here. See how I've got this ball? See, I'm leaned up. I'm leaned up perfect here. I'm not holding myself up at all. I am perfectly. This ball is the perfect height. Because see, from where I'm sitting, I can see straight out. This is at eye level. That is awesome. Dang, I done spent 4 minutes. All right, well, let's wrap this up.
All right, so that's that for now. That's the basic concept. This is a prototype. This is a first time run, first time setup. There's a lot of tweaking to do, a lot of changes. The camo is kind of a mess getting in and out. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring some tarp clips and I'm gonna clip the camo to the front and then I'm gonna clip the other camo to the back. That way it comes over with it. Now I'm working on, there's a large piece of property, and right after deer season, I think I'm gonna have permission that I can bring this out there up on top of a mountain. I gotta make sure there's some down trees. But after deer season, I'm gonna bring this up there and I'm gonna leave it up there because it'll be safe in that area. I know for a fact that nobody will steal it or smash it. And I'm gonna leave it up there for about a month, and then I'm gonna take 2 days off from work and I'm gonna head on up there and I'm gonna sneak in as quietly as I can after it's been there for a month, and I'm gonna crawl in and spend 2 days in there with a camera and some binoculars. Now, once again, here's the B word, Bigfoot. Will I say that Bigfoot exists? No. Will I say that he doesn't exist? No. I am a skeptic. I would love for him to exist, but I'm not gonna argue with you and say, yeah, he does exist. But, you know, I don't mind throwing my hat in the ring there, and if I get any footage, I'll post it online. If you never see any footage from me, it was a boring 2-day trip. So take it easy, enjoy life, and we shall see you in the next one.